Are you ready to take control of your life and destroy the invisible forces that are holding you back from your true potential? Listen up, because what I'm about to share with you is not just another set of tips. This is the game changer you've been waiting for. We've all been there feeling stuck, doubting ourselves, letting the world pass us by while we wonder, why isn't my life where I want it to be? But I'm going to tell you something right now that will shift everything for you. Your confidence is being silently destroyed every single day by habits that you're not even aware of. Today we're going to uncover 9 habits, and trust me, these are habits that are sneaky, destructive, and they're undermining your potential in ways you can't even imagine. But guess what? Once you know what they are, you can eliminate them. You can take back control, you can rebuild your confidence step by step and start showing up as the most powerful, unstoppable version of yourself. So if you're ready to unlock the real you and crush the obstacles standing between you and your most confident, empowered life, say it with me, I'm ready to rise. Pause and build anticipation. Let's dive in. Here are the 9 habits that are destroying your confidence right now and how you can eliminate them starting today. Self-doubt is one of the most insidious forces that can slowly chip away at your confidence. It starts as a small thought, a little voice in the back of your mind that questions your abilities, your worth, or your chances of success. But over time, if left unchecked, self-doubt grows stronger until it paralyzes you from taking action. Every time you hesitate or second-guess yourself, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not good enough. The more you listen to that voice, the louder it becomes. This negative inner dialogue often stems from past experiences, failures, rejections, or criticisms that leave emotional scars. Each time you face a new challenge, those old memories resurface, planting seeds of doubt before you even begin. It's as though your mind is constantly preparing you for disappointment, warning you that you're not capable of succeeding. The truth, however, is that self-doubt is not based on reality, it's based on perception. It distorts the way you see yourself, turning your strengths into weaknesses and making your potential seem out of reach. When self-doubt dominates your thoughts, you begin to avoid opportunities, shy away from challenges, and choose the path of least resistance. You're afraid of making mistakes, so you stagnate. You worry that failure will confirm what you secretly believe, that you're not good enough. But here's the catch: self-doubt feeds on inaction. The longer you avoid taking risks, the more convinced you become that you're incapable of achieving anything meaningful. The more you allow those doubts to fester, the more they will rob you of your confidence and stop you from taking the very actions that would prove them wrong. Negative self-talk is one of the most destructive habits that can silently erode your confidence. It starts with simple, seemingly harmless thoughts like I'm not good enough or I can't do this, but over time, these thoughts accumulate and shape how you view yourself and your abilities. The mind has a tendency to focus on the negative, so if you aren't consciously aware of what you're saying to yourself, you may fall into a repetitive cycle of self-criticism. The more you engage in this internal dialogue, the more it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you repeatedly tell yourself that you are not capable, eventually you'll start to believe it. What makes negative self-talk so insidious is how it sneaks into your daily life. It shows up when you're about to try something new or take a risk, whispering things like "this will never work" or "people will laugh at me." It often occurs when you make a mistake or face failure, reinforcing the idea that you're not good enough or that you're destined to fail again. These thoughts have a profound impact on your self-esteem and hinder your ability to step outside your comfort zone. When you criticize yourself constantly, it becomes difficult to take bold actions, pursue new opportunities, or even accept praise from others because you believe you don't deserve it. The danger of negative self-talk is that it can become a deeply ingrained pattern. Over time, it starts to influence how you see the world and how you interact with it. You start to expect failure, doubt your decisions, and hold yourself back from going after what you truly want. This constant internal criticism doesn't just affect your mindset, it can affect your performance, relationships, and overall quality of life. Procrastination is a silent killer of confidence. It's the act of putting off tasks, often accompanied by feelings of guilt, stress, and self-criticism. On the surface, it may seem like a simple delay in action, but at its core, procrastination is rooted in fear, perfectionism, and avoidance. You might delay taking action because you're afraid of failing. Or perhaps you're paralyzed by the belief that the task at hand must be perfect before you can even begin. This constant delay creates a vicious cycle. By avoiding a task, you feel a temporary sense of relief, but that relief is quickly replaced by mounting pressure and anxiety, making it even harder to start. Over time, procrastination chips away at your confidence by reinforcing the idea that you're incapable of handling your responsibilities. Each time you put something off, you reaffirm your belief that you're not disciplined or focused enough to get things done. This erodes your self-worth as you begin to view yourself as unreliable or unmotivated. Instead of tackling a task head-on, you find yourself overwhelmed by it, imagining worst-case scenarios that only add to your fear and self-doubt. The longer you procrastinate, the more it impacts your ability to succeed. Opportunities slip away, deadlines are missed, and you end up feeling like you're constantly behind. This not only creates unnecessary stress, but it also feeds into the narrative that you are incapable or inadequate. The constant cycle of postponing tasks leads to a lack of progress, leaving you stuck in a place where your potential remains unrealized and your confidence continues to diminish. Procrastination becomes a habit, not just in work or school, but in every aspect of your life, slowly stealing the belief you once had in your own abilities. People-pleasing is a habit that can slowly destroy your confidence by leading you to constantly prioritize the needs and approval of others over your own. It starts with the desire to be liked, accepted, or to avoid conflict, but over time it becomes a deep-seated need to gain validation through the approval of others. Every time you say yes to something you don't want to do or go along with someone else's desires at the expense of your own, you're reinforcing the belief that your value depends on making others happy. This constant need to please leads to an erosion of self-respect and personal boundaries. The danger of people-pleasing lies in its ability to leave you feeling empty and resentful. When you're constantly bending over backward to satisfy others, you neglect your own needs and desires. You become so focused on making others happy that you forget what makes you happy, and in the process, you lose sight of who you really are. This self-sacrifice often comes at the cost of your own well-being, and over time, it creates feelings of frustration, burnout, and resentment. What's worse, the more you seek external validation, the more you base your self-worth on the opinions of others. If you don't receive the approval you crave, your confidence takes a hit, leaving you feeling unworthy and rejected. People-pleasing often leads to a cycle of seeking external affirmation, but it never truly fulfills the deep need for internal validation. The more you live for others, the more you distance yourself from your true self, and your confidence erodes because you no longer know where you stand or what you truly want out of life. Fear of failure is one of the most paralyzing forces when it comes to building confidence. It's that deep, underlying anxiety that creeps into your thoughts when you're about to take a risk or pursue something new. It tells you that the stakes are too high, that you're not good enough, or that failing would somehow define you as a failure. This fear often prevents you from even trying, holding you back from reaching your potential. You might find yourself overthinking, doubting your abilities, and waiting for the perfect moment to act, which rarely ever comes. The irony is that the fear of failure often leads to inaction, and inaction keeps you stuck exactly where you are, never moving forward. This fear is rooted in past experiences, societal pressures, or internalized beliefs that failure equals rejection or inadequacy. When you make a mistake or fall short of expectations, it can feel like your entire sense of self-worth is threatened. Failure becomes something personal, an indictment of your capabilities and value as a person. But what most people don't realize is that failure is not an endpoint, it's a necessary part of growth. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of failures and setbacks, and each failure is an opportunity to learn, improve, and become better. However, when you let the fear of failure dominate your decisions, it closes off those opportunities. You begin to play it safe, avoiding challenges that could potentially lead to growth. You tell yourself that staying in your comfort zone is less risky, but in reality, the true risk is in never stepping outside of it. The fear of failure keeps you stagnant, reinforcing the belief that you are incapable of succeeding, which in turn further diminishes your confidence. Comparing yourself to others is one of the most toxic habits that slowly destroys your confidence. It starts innocently enough, seeing someone else's success or achievements and wondering how you measure up. But over time, this habit morphs into a constant cycle of self-evaluation based on the lives and accomplishments of those around you. Whether it's a colleague's promotion, a friend's social media highlight reel, or a peer's success in a particular area, every comparison chips away at your sense of self-worth. You begin to focus more on what you lack rather than what you have, and that is where the damage begins. The danger of comparing yourself to others lies in its ability to distort reality. What you see on the outside is often a carefully curated version of someone's life, not the full picture. Everyone has their struggles, insecurities, and failures, but we tend to ignore or overlook these in others while focusing on our own shortcomings. When you're constantly measuring your achievements against someone else's, you're not only setting unrealistic expectations for yourself, but you're also ignoring your own unique strengths and abilities. Over time, this habit fosters feelings of inadequacy, jealousy, and frustration. You start to believe that you're not good enough or that you'll never achieve the same level of success. You might feel like you're falling behind or that you'll never measure up, even though your journey is entirely different from theirs. This constant comparison breeds self-doubt, undermines your confidence, and traps you in a cycle of insecurity. Instead of celebrating your own progress, you become fixated on where you feel you're lacking, which makes it almost impossible to appreciate your own growth and accomplishments. Procrastination and inaction are two habits that can significantly erode confidence over time. When you delay tasks or avoid taking necessary steps, it often stems from fear of failure, uncertainty, or a lack of belief in your ability to succeed. This avoidance creates a cycle where the longer you put something off, the more overwhelming it seems and the harder it becomes to take that first step. The mental burden of incomplete tasks lingers, draining energy and focus and leading to feelings of guilt or inadequacy. Inaction often arises from overthinking or waiting for the perfect moment to start, which rarely, if ever, arrives. This perfectionist mindset amplifies self-doubt because it sets unrealistic expectations that are difficult to meet. Each delay reinforces a belief that you're not capable, competent, or ready, which further weakens your confidence. Additionally, procrastination creates a disconnect between your goals and your actions. Even if you're aware of what you want to achieve, failing to act on those intentions diminishes your trust in yourself. This self-sabotage undermines the sense of control and accomplishment that comes from making progress, no matter how small. Over time, the lack of forward momentum can lead to frustration, stress, and even a diminished sense of self-worth. The psychological impact of inaction extends beyond individual tasks. It spills over into other areas of life, creating a general hesitancy to seize opportunities or embrace new experiences. This hesitation reinforces a comfort zone that feels safe in the moment but limits growth and learning in the long run. Moreover, the habit of procrastination can strain relationships, hinder career advancement and prevent you from building a life that aligns with your true potential. Dwelling on past mistakes is a habit that can profoundly affect your confidence and overall mental well-being. When you constantly replay errors or regrets in your mind, you reinforce feelings of guilt, shame, and self-doubt. This fixation can make it difficult to focus on the present or look forward to the future, trapping you in a cycle of negative emotions that hinders personal growth. Revisiting past mistakes often magnifies them in your mind, making them seem larger and more consequential than they truly are. This distorted perception can lead to an internal narrative where you define yourself by these errors, eroding your self-esteem. Each time you dwell on what went wrong, you reinforce a belief that you are incapable of change or unworthy of success, further damaging your confidence. This habit can also prevent you from taking risks or trying new things. Fear of repeating past failures can cause you to avoid situations where you might grow or excel. Over time, this avoidance shrinks your comfort zone and limits your ability to build resilience or learn from new experiences. The more you focus on what went wrong, the less energy you have to invest in constructive actions that could lead to positive outcomes. Dwelling on mistakes also affects your relationships and interactions with others. When you're consumed by regret, you may struggle to fully engage with people or trust their support. This can create a sense of isolation and reinforce the belief that you are defined by your past. The weight of unresolved mistakes can cloud your judgment and make it difficult to see opportunities for growth or redemption. Instead of learning from your errors and moving forward, you become stuck in a loop that prevents progress and undermines your confidence. Surrounding yourself with toxic people can have a significant negative impact on your confidence and overall mental health. Toxic individuals often exhibit behaviors such as constant criticism, manipulation, or negativity, which can chip away at your sense of self-worth over time. Being in their presence frequently means enduring a cycle of judgment, blame, or dismissiveness, all of which can make you doubt your abilities and question your value. These individuals may also project their insecurities onto you, creating an environment where your achievements are minimized or overshadowed by their negativity. This behavior fosters a dynamic where you feel undervalued or unsupported, making it harder to recognize your strengths or celebrate your successes. Over time, their influence can lead you to internalize their criticisms, undermining your belief in yourself and diminishing your motivation to pursue goals or take risks. Toxic relationships can drain your emotional energy, leaving you feeling exhausted or overwhelmed. The constant stress and tension they generate may lead to anxiety or self-doubt, preventing you from focusing on your personal growth or well-being. Instead of building supportive connections that uplift and inspire you, these relationships trap you in a cycle of negativity that stifles your potential. Furthermore, toxic people often discourage healthy boundaries, making it difficult to prioritize your needs or assert yourself. This lack of boundaries can erode your confidence, as you may feel powerless or obligated to meet their demands at the expense of your own happiness. The more you tolerate their behavior, the more it reinforces a belief that you deserve to be treated poorly, which perpetuates the cycle of low self-esteem and self-doubt. The impact of toxic individuals extends beyond your immediate interactions, affecting how you perceive yourself and your ability to thrive in other areas of life. Ignoring self-care is a habit that can gradually erode confidence and negatively impact both mental and physical well-being. When you neglect activities that nurture your body, mind, and emotions, you signal to yourself that your needs are not a priority. Over time, this lack of attention can lead to feelings of unworthiness and self-neglect, diminishing your sense of self-respect and self-worth. Failing to take care of yourself physically, such as through proper nutrition, exercise, and rest, can lead to fatigue, poor health, and decreased energy levels. These physical consequences often contribute to a lack of motivation and productivity, making it harder to achieve goals or maintain a positive outlook. The connection between physical health and mental well-being means that neglecting one often negatively impacts the other, creating a cycle that undermines your confidence further. Emotionally ignoring self-care may involve suppressing feelings, avoiding relaxation, or dismissing activities that bring joy and fulfillment. This can lead to burnout, stress, or a sense of emotional depletion, which weakens your ability to cope with challenges or maintain a positive self-image. When you continually put others' needs ahead of your own or avoid taking time to recharge, it reinforces a belief that your happiness is secondary or undeserved. Mentally, neglecting self-care might mean ignoring opportunities for growth, learning, or self-reflection. Without regular mental stimulation or practices like mindfulness and gratitude, it becomes harder to cultivate a sense of inner strength and resilience. This lack of mental nourishment can leave you feeling stagnant, disconnected, or incapable of handling life's demands effectively. The cumulative effect of ignoring self-care often manifests as a diminished sense of control over your life, eroding your confidence and leaving you less equipped to face challenges or pursue meaningful goals. Overanalyzing everything is a habit that can severely undermine your confidence and hinder your ability to make decisions or take action. When you overanalyze, you tend to focus excessively on details, potential outcomes, and hypothetical scenarios, which can create a sense of paralysis. This constant second-guessing fosters doubt and uncertainty, making it difficult to trust your instincts or judgments. Overanalyzing often stems from a fear of making mistakes or a desire for perfection. This fear leads to endless cycles of evaluation, where every choice is scrutinized to the point of exhaustion. Instead of feeling empowered to move forward, you become overwhelmed by the sheer weight of possibilities and risks. This indecision creates a feedback loop where inaction reinforces feelings of inadequacy, further eroding your confidence. The mental energy consumed by overanalyzing can also lead to stress, anxiety, and burnout. When your thoughts are consumed by endless deliberation, you miss opportunities to act or enjoy the present moment. This preoccupation with what-if scenarios often prevents you from seeing the value of learning through experience, as you focus more on avoiding failure than on growth or progress. Overanalyzing can strain relationships as well. Excessive questioning or seeking validation from others may come across as insecurity, leading to misunderstandings or frustration. This dynamic can further reinforce feelings of self-doubt, as you may interpret others' reactions as confirmation of your inability to make sound decisions. Additionally, overanalyzing diminishes your ability to celebrate achievements or recognize your strengths. By dissecting every action or decision, you may focus more on perceived flaws or missed opportunities than on what you accomplished. This critical mindset makes it harder to appreciate your capabilities, creating a persistent cycle of self-doubt and diminished confidence. In conclusion, these 9 habits: negative self-talk, perfectionism, comparing yourself to others, avoiding challenges, seeking external validation, procrastination and inaction, dwelling on past mistakes, surrounding yourself with toxic people, ignoring self-care, and overanalyzing everything create a cycle of self-doubt that erodes your confidence over time. Breaking free from these patterns requires awareness, intentional effort, and a commitment to healthier practices that foster self-belief and resilience. By identifying these destructive behaviors and replacing them with empowering habits, you can rebuild your confidence, embrace your potential, and live a more fulfilling, authentic life.